It is at last time for the main event. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match. Now, I believe several years now, we have pointed out, hey, the cell is red. And people point out, you idiots, it's been red for years. Has the red light always been there? That's what people say.
I feel like this is new.
I swear to God, it's come up before.
I feel like this is this year it's been red.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Fuck, I don't know, but...
Well, the reality is, Vinny, why bother having a red cell
you can have a red
if
light.
you can have a red light?
Which makes the thing look white.
I couldn't even figure... Dude, where to begin?
People were saying, at least one person said, I think that's just a red filter on the camera. The people in the arena are seeing the light. I'm saying, no, I see blue lights in the crowd. It's not on the camera, dude. They're showing a red light in the arena for this match. So, this match did have a story. I will say that.
What a story.
The story is...
The Fiend can't be killed.
The Fiend is a horror movie monster who will take damage and 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 then rise from the grave and kill you anyway. The Fiend has a catchphrase. Rob, what is the catchphrase the fans were chanting again?
Zowie wowie.
Yowie wowie.
Yowie wowie.
Ask me next time.
Okay.
This guy's busy failing at fantasy football.
I think it's important to make producer Rob a part of the show. So
I see. Okay.
Yowie wowie is the Fiend's catchphrase.
Yowie wowie.
Okay. I thought the fans were chanting for Maui wowie, which is much funnier, and for this match also very appropriate.
Maybe they were.
I wish I'd had some. So they do the story. Bray gets curb stomped like a minute in and just gets up. I think he got up even before Seth could make a cover.
Yes.
Got splashed through a cover, just stood right, splashed through a table, got right back up. Gets curb stomped again, gets right back up. They start fighting outside with Sister Abigail. And one into the cage, one in the ring. I got two.
Dude, when he had that Sister Abigail in the cage, I was like, perfect. It's over. He's a champion. Let's get out of here. Seth kicks out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God. Now what?
So they go outside.
Little did I know.
Where Bray goes under the ring. And as promised, Bray Wyatt pulled out a big cartoon mallet.
Yes.
Like he's the Joker from the Batman cartoon.
Yes.
Not from the Joaquin Phoenix movie, which is much better than anything on this show.
Even the Joker would have laughed at this mallet.
No, the Joker would have frowned. This was so awful, the Joker would have lost his smile.
This mallet is so big, and they're pretending like it's really heavy. Like he kind of bonks the steps with it, and they go, oh, you can hear the weight. This big, stupid, square mallet. I'm trying to describe to people how big this mallet is. This mallet is the size of a mini fridge, right?
It's at least as big, probably bigger than those hammers the Bludgeon Brothers had.
Oh, twice as big. Yes. Easily twice as big. It's ridiculous.
So, it's a mallet, right? Which is another word for a hammer. I am confident that every single person listening to the sound of my voice right now knows how hammers work.
Yes.
You raise them up high, you drop them down heavy, so the blunt surface strikes ideally a nail, often though your thumb, what have you. Bray Wyatt went through all the trouble to get a big, giant cartoon mallet made and never learned how to use it.
Well, Vinny, it's so heavy, he can't lift it.
So he
can only push with it.
Thrusts with the, not even the curve, nor the edge, or not the point of the edge. He thrusts with the curve of it. Dio Madden says he almost impaled him.
Yes.
So Dio Madden does not listen to my voice because he does not know how mallets work.
Why didn't you just get a shovel? Because that would have worked.
Apparently. So this shot with a heavy cartoon mallet leads directly to Seth Rollins making his comeback.
Yes.
It's reverse kryptonite. It fired him up. He's making his comeback. He's booed out of the building.
You know the best part of this comeback?
No.
I'm going to tell you. So there's a lot of crazy people out there in the world right now that love WWE, and they will accept no other wrestling. They do not want to hear about New Japan. They do not want to hear about AEW. They want no wrestling except WWE. And if anybody raves about anything in New Japan, if we come on here, we talk about how great an Okada-Tanahashi match is, or Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, whoever, what are these people going to say? They're going to say, there's no psychology. It's just kicking out of finishers. There is never, in the history of New Japan, in the history of AEW, I'm not sure in the history of any promotion in the world, there has never been a match where one dude no-sold every single solitary finish of the other guy multiple times.
Over and over and over and over.
Even Brock, when he took like 4 curb stomps, or Braun when he took the 4 curb stomps and the pedigree. Do we have a curb stomp count in this match? I'll do it while you talk about this.
Well, so he begins to do all his finishers. I wrote a dozen stomps. I will be honest, I was guessing. He hit a pedigree. He hit another curb stomp. Bray kicks out at 1. So Seth hits a bunch more finishers.
He hit 10 curb stomps in this match.
I guarantee you it's more than that.
No, it was 10. Well, you're also forgetting like the pedigree and the chair shots and the hammer and the toolbox.
Yeah, so let's get into this. So Bray kicks out at 1, but he still can't get to his feet. He's still incapacitated. So Seth leaves the ring to grab a chair, and he stands over Bray, and he raises the chair high over his head, and he smashes it down into Bray Wyatt's face, allegedly. He did not actually hit him in the head with a chair, which is good. Bray just lies there. If you can kick out, surely you can roll over? You can defend yourself somehow? What a shitty monster. So the chair shot also gets a count of 1. So he lays the chair on his face, drops a ladder onto the chair. I think that may have gotten 1. I gave up on the details of all this bullshit. Puts the chair and the ladder on Bray's face. He grabs a toolbox and swings the toolbox up over his head and smashes him in the face. That won't get it. And then Seth says, I need the ultimate weapon, which is, of course, the sledgehammer. Now, I know we ranted about how the big hammer was legal and the small hammer is illegal, but in WWE's stupid logic, this is Triple H's trademark weapon. He has bestowed upon it the game's magic powers. So I can accept that this is more violent than the big giant cartoon hammer. He gets in this ring, and this ref, who has watched these guys use tables and ladders and chairs and toolboxes and Christ knows what else, now he must step in. No, Seth, he says, this isn't you. That's exactly what he said. This isn't you.
This isn't you? Are you the referee or his psychiatrist?
Yes. And the ref tries to talk him out of this. And I believe you both said you saw Seth weeping with guilt.
Yes.
He was choked up. He said, you're right. It's not me. And then he raised his hammer high and he brought it down upon the head of Bray Wyatt. And yes, the referee called for the disqualification.
Excuse me, the disqualification?
The disqualification.
In a Hell in a Cell match?
At this point, as I'm sure you've all seen by now, Sean Waltman, Triple H's very good friend and a legit WWE Hall of Famer, is watching on their program, their watch-along. And he says, I don't know if I'm going to get invited back here, but how can you have a DQ and a friggin' Hell in a Cell? And then some other guy says, well, I don't know if it was a DQ. And Waltman turns to him, looks at this idiot.
So at the end of the day, they killed Seth Rollins. He is now the geek to end all geeks. They killed Bray Wyatt. Like, this was his night to win the title, but he didn't. They killed the concept of Hell in a Cell because there's a disqualification. And I think they killed Ride Along. Because I can't imagine another Ride Along after this one. Or Watch Along or whatever it's called.
Dude.
Dude.
So, The cell gets raised. They show a bunch of replays as geeks try to pull Seth away and make sure Bray Wyatt's alive. But of course, Bray Wyatt fires up and kicks Seth's ass. Why didn't you just do that 10 minutes ago if you could have done it all along? He puts him in the mandible claw. Seth is sanguinous. He is spitting up blood.
He actually was sanguinous.
You're
You're right.
The fans are chanting AEW, AEW.
They chanted for refunds. They chanted to restart the match. Then they chanted AEW when they knew it wouldn't happen. They chanted bullshit. Dude, like, if you watch Raw and SmackDown, there's like one act that's over right now, and it's Bray Wyatt. They really thought that they could get away with this finish. Like, they honestly thought that you'd take it because they think you're a mark. Like, how do you think you can get away with this? The only guy that anybody cares about on this show is going into Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins, who has been being booed as the top babyface because he's such a geek. And you think that you can put these two guys in a Hell in a Cell match and satisfy your audience with a disqualification finish? Honestly, come on. That's the show, everybody.
So the show goes off the air. The show is followed by a episode of WWE Chronicle featuring Bill Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
So we're looking at Seth being sanguinous and hearing the crowd chanting AEW, 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 and the screen fades to black. And then the light comes up, and there is Bill Goldberg, whose first words are, and I'm not making this up, I feel like shit.
Hey, join the club, buddy.
I also feel like shit, Bill Goldberg, for I have watched Shit in a Cell 2019. Thumbs
Vinny,
down!
Well, Vinny, try not to peek the mic there. Go home and watch the Goldberg deal. I haven't seen it yet, but I have been told that the legendary moment where Bill Goldberg met Matt Riddle and said, "Don't call me bro."
Really?
And Matt Riddle said, "Okay, bro."
Really?
This is captured
Really?
on this documentary.
Huh.
Yes. So you can look forward to that.
Intriguing.
Yes. So everyone, here's the plan. Normally on Sundays, when we review Superstars and or NWA, we will open with Granny. But I felt that it was very important that we get this review out of the way first. So that was your Hell in a Cell review. The show sucked. Now we're going to join
dear
Granny.
God. Oh, hang on. No.
Yes.
I must regroup.
It'll take a moment to get her on the air. So stand by, everybody. Let's get Granny here on the air.